What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Repeat.
It's
Yes,
your boy Remy in the motherfucking building.
He back.
What? Yo, it's your boy Mike Sanchez.
Yes,
We
sir.
in here, bro.
And you already know the vibes. Don't say this. Say that. This week, we doing something special this week. We haven't done this in a while.
Open
This is a
the
long,
The
long
magic
time.
tricks, bro.
This since what? Episode 12, we ain't do something like this, I think. It was just us.
Episode-
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the Mike Sanchez episode. That's almost
Shout out
a
to
year ago.
Mike.
Damn.
Yeah,
That
but
was
yo-
episode 12?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
But yeah, y'all see, no guests this week. We coming at y'all with a very special episode, very thankful one, I
Yeah.
would say.
Gratitude.
Gratitude-filled
My
episode.
fault. We put the.
Yeah, you good, bro.
Oh, yeah. I ain't even.
You good. This is how
I felt a
freestyle
little too
is.
loose. I was
That's
like, what
what
the
I
hell?
say.
I'm like, yo,
He didn't get the headphones on.
I'm like, yo, nobody's listening to what we sound like, huh?
That's what I'm saying. Nobody freaking is listening, but
God
now
damn,
they
that's what I
are.
sound like?
Bro said that's what it sound like. But yeah, this week we recapping what we did over the last year because we are officially a year old.
Yeah.
We a baby, bro.
That's
Freshman
crazy.
year is over.
I'll talk about you, but
Just a couple little homies trying to find their way in the world. But yeah, bro, we a year old. How y'all feeling about that?
Yo, man, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. God damn, like, to be honest with y'all, like, if a year ago I would ask myself if I would have done this shit,
Yeah.
Facts.
if I would have been able to work with y'all like this,
Facts.
I would be lying.
Because 2020 was a scary year, bro. Like, obviously in general, but
It was a
everything
weird
that was
year.
happening. Like, everything was happening, but, like, motherfuckers, I feel like we're starting to find themselves, though, through all that.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
yeah, like, you was locked down because of COVID. Just random shit around the world, just being horrible. Shit happened here in America. But, yeah, it was weird for everybody.
It was.
Not even just, like, even, like, celebs, I feel like. It was weird for, like, I feel like the whole world was, like, on a different weird vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, people were dying, man.
Yeah,
It was
like, every
weird,
day.
and it was different. Like it was confusion, instructions everywhere. People saying this, and then some people saying that, and then the country was still divided politically. And
Yo,
so
bro.
Yo.
it's
that's
crazy.
and that's what we're coming off of. It's the kind of like the that was a lot. It
Yeah.
was like the COVID and everything took a lot, and especially if you participated in almost everything. So if you went to rallies and you spoke up and you went to events, but then you also was still getting, either you got the vaccine or you was trying to stay away or you were locked down for the first month or you lost your job or whatever the thing is, everybody went through it somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just something that, unless you in a coma or something, you just can't.
Yeah, you just really just had to keep trucking through.
Yeah, you ain't
At the end of the day.
exonerated from it, bro. It's crazy.
Right.
And then there was, like, obviously the pandemic going on a global scale, social issues going on in our country.
Even around the world, bro. That shit got
Yeah,
around
but we
the
stayed
world.
consistent though. That's what counts.
Well, we stayed consistent with.
Like I'm saying, for us as a team,
Oh,
Bro,
I
yeah,
thought you
yeah,
meant
yeah.
like America.
I guess America with them social issues.
America's
like, yeah,
number one.
Yeah, there's something new every year.
nah.
No, but
working
that's
on it.
facts.
No, but we worked, man. We worked.
Hell
and
yeah.
Yeah, we like missed 1 week and that was it. And that's all right. Because I feel like, we always talk about, if you gone from social media, you gone for a while. Like, you know what I'm saying? You disappear. But, like, I feel like motherfuckers just got to take a step back for, like, a week. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what they do with the NFL. They take a bye week. You know what I'm saying? We ain't taking a bye week every year. Freaking been a year. We just took a week off. Like, kill us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, but we still back. So what it matter?
But the thing is, and we've done this because we'll bang out episodes for a lot. So for some people that don't know, some of our episodes are shot in the same day.
Facts.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell by YouTube and us dressing in the same outfits.
I know, right? We don't,
I
and we should
swear.
probably change
Yeah.
outfits. Or
That's
maybe
what I'm
change
saying.
shirt designs.
I remember
Change
one
the
day
shirt or some shit.
I took my sweatshirt off. I was like, all right, they won't
Smart.
notice.
Yo,
Smart.
that day we did like four or five
Four of them.
shits.
It was Zay, it was Jesus, it was Jeff and Dave, and
I think charismatic.
yeah, it was charismatic.
And those are all lovely interviews. So.
That's what I'm saying.
It was
though.
dope.
But they take and for people that don't understand, that shit takes a lot out of us
Facts.
to go ahead and do 4 interviews because some of them, life happens, so not everybody's gonna be exactly here on the time they need to be here,
Right.
which is okay. We don't kill nobody. And then some interviews end up becoming super interesting. You're like, yo, I want to talk for another
Yeah.
Half
hour,
hour
and hour,
or
you know what I
some
mean,
shit,
hour,
yeah.
half hour, whatever. And so then that drags on, and then we sometimes we have other guests coming late or coming early. So
You know, those days where we had like those long ass interviews, like I feel like it was really a testament to
Facts.
like work ethic of all of us. For the simple fact that it's hard. Like sometimes, like after like 2 interviews or 1 interview,
My mouth be hurting. No cap.
Nah, you should have
No
never
cap.
said that on air, though.
No, pause.
socially
No homo,
exhausted.
but
He said, I am socially exhausted.
Yeah, exactly.
My
like I be talking so much, I be like,
my mouth straight. But yeah, man. So like, I'm socially exhausted sometimes. But you know, it just shows our preparation. We go everything we did, like the research for the other people, and sometimes it's crazy too. Just like you said, sometimes we're deep in a conversation with somebody. And we're like, damn, we've been talking for this person for an hour, but we can keep going. But there's somebody waiting outside. Right. We gotta value their time, and so yeah, it was definitely dope.
And I attest to it because this room's hot, bro.
Hot as hell.
Hot as hell. Like,
Yo,
you know what
anybody that's been in here,
I feel bad, low key. It's like,
my fault to cut you
No,
off,
you
Pete,
good.
but I just remember this. Also, we do a pre-talk. So
Yeah.
if you've never been a guest of this show, the way it works is before the guests even, before they even walk in, we hit record. So everything is recorded. And we do that because we want to pick up just the small conversations that we have, the nuggets of information that maybe we want to go back to and we want to hear. And maybe one day it gets released, and maybe some of them do, some of them don't. But those can last 30 minutes.
right.
yo,
So we talking like for Noble, we talked to Noble for like 30 minutes,
Exactly.
and then an hour and a half.
Right.
Yeah.
Rob, we kept that whole shit in because he was just spitting facts on the pre-talk. So he's like, what the fuck? It's
shout out to you too for like adjusting on the fly with Rob. I'm like, dog, it's been fucking almost 40 minutes and we still haven't even
done the intro. So I was
let's
just like,
go.
fuck it. I'm just like,
Keep
what's
it at
good,
that.
everybody? That's been the part of it because that's the magic of pre-talk like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy,
Yeah.
crazy like that,
And I think it's cool, like when we first started experimenting with that, and that's your idea too. So hats off to you
Yeah.
with that, because before we would just like, talk our shit,
That's it.
and then just go straight in. You know what I mean? And a lot of crazy good content happens that doesn't
Right.
even make it to the
Doesn't
episode.
make
A lot of
It's
people don't know
crazy.
that.
It really is.
Like
crazy.
you get to see like a different
that's why
side of these dudes.
That's why we got to explain this etiquette to people. You know what I'm saying? What the ins and outs are of the pod, because most people don't know. They see the outside. They don't really see what's going on behind the scenes and shit like
Which
that.
helps the interview. Like you're saying,
Right.
people don't see it. So what you see is the interview went well, but you don't see is we spent the hour and a half, meeting as a team before to, make sure we're all prepped for the guests. And then on our own time, we're doing research on our own time, which allows us to be, once again, prepared for when the guest comes. And then when the guest is here, we do a 30-minute pre-talk to ensure that the vibes are right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's what we big on,
Strictly vibes. It's
Strictly
strictly
vibes.
vibes.
Yeah.
We're not. It's not a planned conversation.
Mhm.
It's not.
And we ain't dick riding nobody. We ain't here for doing it for their clout. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Pete feels spicy today.
But like that's how the game be going though. It's like if people, because some people think that they asking for an interview from me. Oh, they trying to dick ride. They trying to clout chase. Like nah, I ain't with that. Like nah, it's because I
Hey,
want
man,
to tell the story.
Yo, people gonna believe what they gonna believe, man. If you somebody interesting, you got something cool going on, the
Yeah,
vibe
then
is
we want
right.
you, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Come in, bro. Shoot the shit.
But real quick,
I'm gonna tell you that caught me so off guard because I had no idea.
I throw everything out there. But yeah, these motherfuckers.
Yo, it's just Scorpio season's approaching,
That's
so
what
Pete's
I'm
in
saying,
full effect.
bro. It's getting spicy and
Bro,
spooky up in here.
I had no idea where Pete was
I
going.
go, no, I wasn't. I ain't saying it. No, they dick riding us. We gonna think.
My question is, Pete, who was it? Who was it that made you feel like this? Let's get
Nah,
to it.
it's just that like I don't know. I've just DM mad people and they ain't reach back, and it's like, I get you ain't reach back, but like don't think that like because I'd be overthinking. I got an overthinking problem,
Alright,
so
so-
I kind of be thinking like that.
Boom, we got to the source of it. You
Right.
feel me? The overthinking is the problem because, and Mike, this a lot too is, and I know, bro, we all DMing 65 dudes, regular dudes, not even that popping, nothing.
But and
Nothing
also
back.
the thing is too, I be hearing like because there are some podcasts and radio shows like the big ones that they be saying some wild shit, be doing wild shit to artists. So that's why maybe that's why artists wouldn't want to go on, and they may think that how I would think, or that because I've seen a lot of like Nas and like Jay-Z and like a couple of these old school rappers. They rap about radio shows being like whack and shit like that. So it's kind of just that like stigma of podcasting. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like,
I think it's a different dynamic though. I think like those big artists like a Nas or a Jay-Z or whoever, you know what I mean, when they have a issue with a radio station, it's because they're not getting no spins. You know what I mean? Not necessarily because they like
yeah,
bad
that's
mouthing
true.
them.
That's
Or it's like the politics of the
Yeah.
game. It's like
Right,
because
right.
some artists are like, yo, when my album dropped, you say you didn't like it. Why would you tell your millions of fans that it's whack or blah blah blah? And like some people, if you're objective, they're not gonna like it because you're not always gonna like what a person dropped. And that I feel like that disrupts it. But I also feel like radio is owned by certain companies and certain banks, and so
Right.
of course they lean a little bit more to the people they work with, and that's just business. Like
Yeah.
if you're my artist and signed to mine, and I have this radio station, yeah, I'm gonna play before I play this popping artist. I don't care where he's from,
Right.
because your spins make the company money, which pays me. So it's a whole ecosystem. But I do feel you that some places are whack. They play the same music. It don't be
Yeah.
rap. It don't be real rap, or it don't be like. It just be the lollipop stuff, the Disney rap, and nobody want to hear that.
All
That's
right.
true.
That is true.
What you guys think? What you guys think out of this year-long journey was like the biggest takeaway for you guys? Like either something you learned about yourself or
Definitely
about working with teams, whatever.
Definitely just getting my like mind, open my mind to like the Boston creative scene, because the amount of like I told you, like I've always told the Malfi story, how that was my first experience, and before this, really I only knew like, you know, Replay, Stiz, and Millie's. That's probably the extent of it. And I heard of like, let's say for example, I heard of the Museum TV like once or twice. You know what I'm saying? Before we interviewed Noble. So I think, and the biggest thing I take away, I say this all the time to myself, is just who we've met over the year, and it's been fucking awesome. Like it's been like literally like the most humbling thing ever, just to meet all these creative minds and interviewing them on the platform, and them being from Boston, and you know, getting friendly. You know, they always showing love and this like that. So I think that's definitely been the most rewarding like things thus far.
That's fire.
And especially not even just like rappers and shit, like people like Jeff Pena
Yeah.
and Connor Hallway, like dudes just doing different shit like that, whether it's helping people financially or freaking making a movie or something
Entertainment,
like that.
yeah, yeah,
Exactly. It's like just experiencing that is awesome. Because if I feel like if I wasn't tapped in, I wouldn't hear it, because of just how little like the love kind of is for
That's
these
kinda what I
people. You
wanted
know
to,
what I'm
like-
saying? If I hadn't done this, I don't think I probably would have heard of like a GDP or something like that, because I feel like people, I ain't giving them enough love where I can go see. Like I feel like if I didn't do this, I'd have to actively go out and find it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it
but
is?
we still go out and find it. It's just that it's more easier because okay, they know the same people we knew now.
But I was gonna say you shouldn't feel bad or anything about not knowing, you know, the local creative scene, because it just doesn't have the same push like the mainstream.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you kind
Right.
of have to go out of your way to know who, or you just know people personally type shit to know.
Right.
You know,
it's
so-
a big word of mouth. I think
Big
the
time.
creative scene here is a big word of mouth, and it's like, it's not like a bad thing, but it's like maybe it shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? It's like it should just be the norm that, you know, there's a dope person, he just happens to be from Boston, and he doing some like really like wild shit, but he's like, you know, from Boston, like
Yeah.
that. Like they say Coyle Ray, I'm like, Coyle Ray really ain't from here. She was born here, but she got raised in Jersey. So it's like, I feel like it's more where you raised from that really matters, because you was raised the Jersey way. You wasn't raised the Boston way. You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is. We still love it though.
Yeah. We
Yo,
still love it,
What
though.
about you, eh?
What's the question again?
What's the biggest takeaway, the biggest learning experience, or
It's tough, man. I feel like just consistency. I feel like that's what made us great. That's what set us apart. That's what's still kind of driving a lot of our system, is just being consistent and being consistently good. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
No
taking-
whack interviews.
and taking the proper measurements, and not taking shortcuts, and not taking bullshit interviews, and you know, and being able to say no. Because I remember, like I said, real early coming in and telling y'all my fault, and telling y'all like, hey, bro, we can't just say yes to everybody, or
Facts.
saying
yeah.
like, and for people, once again,
just because you got a fire
for
song?
people that are watching and for people that are listening, for us, we, you know, our goal is to always tell the story of an entrepreneur and tell the stories of artists and locals and people who have been grinding for 5, 6, 10 years, or even people that have been doing it for 2 years, 2 months, but have a story, but have something to say, who are an expert in a certain field. And obviously we don't get it right every time, but that's what we're striving for.
Mhm.
And
Right.
so making sure that we're booked far out enough where if somebody comes, we can plug them in. But if nobody comes, then we're fine. And then that way we don't have to take people saying like, yo, I want to come to your platform right now. What's up?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So my biggest takeaway is just us being consistent and us having the big, systems in place
Mhm.
for certain things. I feel like that's made us consistently grow. Because right now, and I was talking to P earlier, right now we're growing.
Big time.
It's like
Yeah. We are.
it's
we
like
really, we really do.
yeah. If you look around at our community, our network, every day it's just
Yeah.
Right. That slow push
that
because
slow push.
there's still people that we know that the other people might know, but they not might know us. But through that person, it's the mutual thing. It's gonna end up like that, for example.
For sure, bro.
Yeah.
I think for me was like the biggest thing was literally I remember when we first started the show. Still every now and then I'll plug it in the Sanchez with 3 C's.
Oh
so you
yeah,
can
stop sleeping. I was gonna say you haven't said that in a while.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, like that really stuck out to me. Not me saying that, but the fact that we was able and continuing to do this. You know what I
Right.
mean? To somebody from the outside, I've had people in the past ask me like, "Yo, but what goes into it? Like how do you do a podcast?" And I know it sounds mad simple, but I just tell people, just do it.
Exactly.
Just do it. Adjust
Exactly.
along the ways. So my biggest takeaway with this whole, project, this whole journey that we all three are doing is just, I no longer glorify these people with like great accomplishments.
You're right.
I
Then that's
just-
big that you said
I
that
just-
too, because I be feeling the same
I just
way.
feel like they're somebody just like me, just like Alex, just like Pete, just like every one of the guests we've had on the show, but they just never stopped.
Right. Exactly.
They just kept going. They just
Exactly.
kept going. Like it rained one day, they're like, "Fuck it, I'm
They
gonna
got
keep
an
doing
umbrella.
it." They got
You
an
know what I'm
umbrella.
saying? They
Or
could
just-
put their raincoat on or some shit like that.
Or they said the water's not gonna kill me.
Yeah,
They just
kept-
went out and
kept
did
walking.
Yeah, and that's big that you said that too, just about, these people being like us. It's like that's how I've been thinking ever since like we started this shit. Just about even like people who I was a fan of still. Like there's a difference between being a fan and then idolizing somebody. Like you could be like a fan of, let's say, like let's just say 50 Cent. You can be a fan of 50 Cent. But if you got this man's like posters all over your place, shit like that, blah, blah, blah. And so if you not realizing that, like you said, he's just like a man too. He got bones, he bleed, like me and you. It's no disrespect to 50, he's a legend, but it's just on that concept of, you idolize. And
We all
like,
can do this shit.
Yeah. I feel like
it's funny you bring that up.
yeah, because it's like they be doing that with K-pop and shit right now, and I gotta like put them shits on blast because you be idolizing these motherfuckers
With the
like
K-pop,
that.
they do got a giant following.
Like scary. Like it's gone to the point where it's a cult. You can call it a cult.
I mean,
You can call
It's a
K-pop
I
stands
think it's a
cult.
cultural
Different
thing
world.
too. Yeah, it's a cultural thing.
It's a whole
But-
other world,
yeah.
world out there.
But it's
we're
like-
from America, the place where.
Nah, but they big in America too. They number one and two on the billboards.
Well, of course. Well, you got to understand, America has people from everywhere in the world.
Yeah, but even like overseas shit too. It's like it's for real. Like One Direction, how One Direction used to be, except like double that, which is kind of scary. Because I remember all the hoes in high school was like that day One Direction broke up. Friggin' them floors was all crying bitches, just friggin' sobbing at
You
their
know what?
lockers.
I'm not too into the K-pop, so I think I've maybe tried to see what's so crazy about it. Because I'm like, if a Brazilian people love it, there's gotta be a reason to it.
The Brazilian people like it.
Yeah, like a bazillion people.
Bazillion. I was about to
Yeah,
say,
but it
damn,
seems like a bazillion people.
Because I feel you seem like a lot of people, but I thought it was funny you brought that up because I've never been that dude to like idolize people. And it's not that I don't idolize because there's people I do look up to and I read
Right.
and I read their life stories and I read how they move
Mhm.
and I try to emulate them sometimes. But the people who I really always been in love with and always care to really be like are people around me and, you know, friends and family. Those are the people that I kind of always gravitate
People you can
towards.
touch.
Right.
Yeah, people I can touch. And that's just because that makes sense to me. It makes sense that, yes, you know, you should read everybody's life. You know, you should read about a lot of people's life. But the people that are going to have the biggest impact are those physically next to you. So pick them wisely and be next to the best people. But people do in this country, I guess everywhere, just we be having people's pictures on the walls, going to concerts, screaming, that's just not my style.
Yeah.
I think people enjoy it. Like I really don't. I don't even enjoy concerts.
I've never
I
been.
said that too. You've never been to a concert?
The closest thing to a concert I've been to was the shit we did.
Really? Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Wow.
That was a
Anybody
concert.
that know me,
Bro,
that for sure.
I'm gonna get mad heat
I've
for
never-
this. You know what my first concert was? Britney Spears.
Nah, it's no he.
Britney
Shout out
Spears.
Britney Spears, bro. I used
I
to have,
don't know, I
I
can
used
like
to
it,
have
man.
an ill crush on her when I was in third grade.
Bro, I was looking at her
never
like
had
this. But yeah, I ain't been to a concert in a minute.
And you know what? It's not that I don't like concerts. I hate the concept of the fact that I gotta wait in line for 3 hours and
Stand in mud.
stand in mud, or I gotta stand in some weird ass seats. There's no good food in concerts.
Yeah.
Then I gotta wait 3 hours to do performance for 45 minutes. I'm old. I'm really not into. If I'm backstage and I know the artist is
That's what I'm saying. If I know
Cool.
the artist is cool.
cool. But me sitting there screaming to pay some money for some dude, like,
You know what it is too. I think it's an age thing for me. I'm not saying that if you're a certain age, certain things are not fun for you. Whatever. We all
Right.
wiggle our own way. If that makes any sense. But I think like I missed the whole like, oh, this is fun.
Right.
Like if I go
Yeah,
now,
I feel you
if
on
I
that.
go now, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah. Cause
this dude don't know what deodorant is. I'm out of here, bro.
Bro, because it do be smelling, bro. It be stinking
I
at
bet.
the concerts.
I
Like,
could
even
smell
at
it
like
through the videos.
Even at like a TD Garden concert, it be
Yeah.
smelling. Because I went to Kanye that one time when he was, before he went loopy. It was like what 2016, bro. He was 45 minutes late. Like I feel like intentionally. We didn't get out there. We didn't get out of the concert until 1:30 a.m.
Come on.
It was good. It was good. But
It
I'm
was
like,
good, but
but
it's
looking
it's
back on it, I'm like,
disrespectful.
that's what I'm saying. Like I get, you want Kanye West. You are a legend, rightfully. But like, be professional. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's like that's when I was like, you know what? I don't really fuck with, like, the last big concert I went to was probably Travis Scott in the Garden. That's because I knew a dude who gave cheap, box seats.
Scalpers.
Yeah, he was. I sat in the box, sat in a Lux box. It was nice, but he ended the show at 10:30. I'm like, and I know the Garden has like a time limit and shit, but I know that Drake did a late show. Drake went into almost midnight when he went on the tour of Future 5 years ago.
Oh, that's when he brought Meek Mill out and shit.
Yes. That was 2 months before I went to Travis Scott, and yes, that was a late show too. So yeah, it's like, I don't know. I kind of got turned off to the idea of concerts unless it's someone I know. Like I ain't getting up to go see no artist no more, and I feel like that's just because there's no one really that I listen to consistently in rap now. You know what I mean? Like I still spin my playlist and shit like that, but other than the people, local people, like people we know, I'm not really, downloading stuff to my library.
I do like the local concerts, at least the local events, and
It
listening
feels
to
more
local-
intimate.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Yeah.
And you know what? I like the relaxed vibe where I go in there. There's a bar. There's a cheap bar. I go to the back. I get me a drink. I'm already high. I'm chilling. The rapper's not. The artist. You don't gotta be a rapper. The artist is talented, but they're not They're not a show. They're not a spectacle. It's like it's very intimate. So you get
Right.
there, and the artist is being an artist. It's being in its pure form. Now, I went to the last couple concerts I went to. G Herbo, Boz, and that's pretty much it. And both of those,
Boz is nice.
I was still upset, and I was mad once again because I had to stand and wait for 2 hours to get in the building.
Yeah.
By the time I got into I was starving, and there was no food in this motherfucker.
I was gonna say they don't really perform at like big stadiums and shit.
at the
They
time.
probably-
At the time, it was super small, but whatever the fuck. I still think people should support your local artists, go to their shows, and that's something that, as us to have a platform and other people that have a platform, have to participate. And you don't have to, but it helps the community. It helps.
it's beneficial.
Yeah, it's beneficial to the ecosystem.
Right.
Even if one of us shows up and they're showing love to the artists, and they're showing love to the other platforms there, it not only helps us and them, but it helps the venue, pack the venue. You might buy something. It helps fucking put the money in there. Once again, it helps shit stay afloat. If you're a platform here and you want more shit to talk about, invest in more people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go to the shows.
How'd you got that on camera?
Yeah, put them in position to succeed. Put them on your platform, and build, you know, the right marketing scheme to push it. Help sell out. You know, be of value to these venues, so that, and then you could use that to leverage artists that are coming in and artists that you want to put in there.
Right.
You know, but once again, it's everybody's first, you know,
responsibility almost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna say all these platforms are relatively new. Unless you've been doing this 10, 15 years, you're relatively new.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, but I'm just putting that out there. Mike was just saying there's a surge of platforms, but I wanted to emphasize, and there's a reason why me and Mike and Pete are here, because and that we pay for the space and that we work out the space, because when artists come, we don't want you to get the feel of this isn't an interview.
Right.
You're not being taken serious. You know, so the reason that we do it here is because when you come here, the audio is official for us. The audio, you know, we have editor, we have whatever the fuck that
a
we
marketing
need.
team.
Yeah, marketing team. We have all these things that allow us to be more professional, to appear more professional,
Correct.
to have a higher quality.
And we stepped up our quality, bro. Our first presence on YouTube wasn't until episode 26. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we
And
went
we could have
25.
done it sooner,
yeah,
but we
but
didn't
just
because
the money and shit in the world and shit, you know,
Well,
that's how it be.
we couldn't do it right. So if you're not gonna do it right, we decided to wait until we could do it right.
Right, exactly. And that's not even that. That was like the top of the year too. So, and we started September. So okay, 4 months we was out video. That's not bad, but should have we been on it sooner? Yeah, but like you said, we was just working out.
But it's just like one of those things I always preach. You can't microwave something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta cook it.
And I feel like out of all of us, Alex had the most experience behind the camera. I mean, in front of a camera.
Right.
And behind the camera as well. So for us, you know, it was just kind of getting our feet wet at first, you know, warming up the mics, getting, you know, comfortable.
Doing them segments.
With the setting and stuff. But yeah, man, what a fucking, like, transition we had. Like, I remember when we first started the show, we had this idea, this plan, bro, where it was like not time segments, but like bullet pointed segments. Like we'll go like, yo, we're talking about this here, now we're talking about this here, we're talking about
current
this here.
events.
Me and Peter would be talking our shit for like an hour, and then together.
Yeah, bro. And by then I'd be like, so you was here for what? You was here for like,
yo, we kept them like 15 minutes, bro, and that's it.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Tough.
Yeah, and
which looking back, I get why we wanted to, because segments are a different thing, so everyone ain't talk about the same shit. But once we just had Manlos on for the whole episode, we were like, let's do this.
That episode definitely switched everything up for us. That's when we like switched the formula up. I was just like, you know what? The way we were doing it before sounded too scripted.
Right.
For the simple fact that, you know, we had these segments and
sounded like legit like a TV show, low key.
Yeah, like the ESPN, how they have like the lines
exactly.
like, oh, now we're talking about the Rams, then we're talking about the Celtics now. You know, it felt like that almost, you know what I mean? And then we had Manlos, I think that was episode 4.
Yep.
We're like, yo, you know what?
And I was supposed to be on that episode, wasn't I?
Yeah.
You was in talks. You was in like you was talking.
I feel like I did make it to the episode.
Yeah.
And maybe we spoke and I was supposed to be on that.
Yeah,
episode.
because your first episode was the J Hustle episode. Yeah,
Was
which
it?
which was a good introduction.
That
yeah.
was the first one?
Yeah, because like
I don't think so.
Nah. He did. Did you did Phil?
Nah, that was
I
me
didn't
and
do
you.
Phil.
That was me. Yeah, he wasn't on Soul Boss either.
Yeah, he was on Soul Boss.
Oh, you were on Soul
Yeah, he
Boss.
was on Soul
I
Boss.
think I was. Yeah.
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 And then we went to the event and
Yeah.
right.
Exactly. Yeah, you're
You're
right.
right.
You were on Soul Boss. Damn, look at that. You know what the thing with Soul Boss was? Because they weren't in the studio. We had to called them. That's why.
Yeah,
They had
yeah.
like some hell shit, and then yeah. That's
Nah, it
why.
was just like it was literally dead in the fucking craziness
Yeah,
of
that's
the
what I was gonna
pandemic.
say. So
You know what I
it's
mean? So
like-
we was ballsy as shit coming in here trying to invite
We
people.
was buzzing.
Yeah.
trying to
Just
have
even
like,
in here,
yo.
exactly.
coming to
Hey,
downtown.
nobody got sick from coming here, by the way.
That's
Yeah,
what I was gonna
exactly.
say. So our
100%
rev's good. We clean. We
Yeah,
clean
exactly.
as fuck. And we vaccinated
Exactly.
too.
You hear me?
But yeah, man, going back to the whole Manlos thing, we bring them in, we scrap the entire
Segments, all them
this
sound
shit.
bites and shit. They still on this thing
Yeah, we
too,
s-
but
yeah, crazy. We actually need to like level that shit up.
Low
But
key,
we had,
yeah.
We had some ill shit, and then we just let it flow, man. And I felt like that was better. You know what I mean? Because it was, free flowing conversation, and then to see the evolution of that to what we do now is crazy. To me at least, it's fucking
nah,
crazy.
it is, because it's like that's how quickly you realize is better another way. You know what I'm saying? That's what, like you said, staying consistent. Consistent means adjusting on the fly too, and we did. We was like, you know what, Manlos is kind of a serious guy. We're gonna talk on some serious but cool topics. So we ain't really gotta do the segments no more.
I was
and
like,
then it's just like,
I remember that day was like the in and out kind of the segment thing, right? Because we
Right.
didn't abandon them fully, but we'll be like, yo, let's just keep the guest in for it, and try
Right.
it out. And then when we saw it, was like, yeah, bro, that segment shit gotta go, bro.
yeah, like
Segments are just
because what if this
hard.
dude don't like sports? Or
Yeah.
you
fashion?
know what I'm saying, or some shit like that.
Yeah, they're just tougher because sometimes, like, you have to keep that up,
Right.
which is people don't understand. It's a lot of writing, so it's a lot of research, a lot of writing of you going like, well, because you have to then have 10 segments, and then you have to have, you have to know what you're going to talk about them. You can't just kind of sometimes just. A lot of people think, well, some people think you could just come in and just start freestyling.
Yeah.
It's like running. You have to get into it. You
Right.
ease your way into it, and the way you ease your way into it is by first taking a lot of notes and doing a lot of research and finding out what works for you when interviewing, so that you don't sound crazy and that you're also having a good conversation with people.
Exactly, something
Right.
that's entertaining, highlights what the heck they're bringing on. So
Exactly, and that's just been the formula.
it's
I feel
not
like.
as simple as like, oh, we like this dude, bring him on.
Right, yeah.
What up, bro?
Because like you said, what we've talked about many a times in the past, just having artists on, like, we can always have them on, but it's gonna sound the same. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, we ask them about maybe an album, an event, movie, blah blah blah. They may all have the same answers, but it's the same questions. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
That's why we try to, like, switch it up a
We can
little
get into
bit.
that now. Is
Yeah.
of having the same type of guest on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's like, if you do a music podcast, then by all means keep having entrepreneurs, rappers, musicians on. But just know that, we're trying to switch it up a little bit here. We're trying to
just think-
interview like
I just think that when you interview the same kind of guests, you kind of limit your own creativeness. Well, not necessarily, because you can get super creative with the
Right.
same type of guest. There's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
many
yeah,
shows
yeah.
that specialize on one type of guest, but I feel like there's so much more that could be covered, so much more that can be of interest to people
Yeah.
out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
that,
Jeff
that we
Pena.
have a passion up for as well.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean.
Jeff Pena was like our first thing like that, because before that, we was interviewing really the arts, like where there's graphic design, shirts, like Soul Boss, apparel, or the rappers. But then we got the Jeff Pena, and we're like, this
Jeff
is
Payne was a great interview.
this dead different, and he's been on 3 times already. You know what I'm saying? Each time it's been different.
Well
but
deserved, though.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
It's just
Each
so
time
different.
it's been dead different, and it's weird when you look at it like that, because like you said, it's like the type of guest. But we've had Jeff 3 times on. Each time it's been a different story.
Yeah.
Each time it's been a great interview, and we've had other people that aren't rapping and it be great interviews. That's not saying rappers don't give you great interviews. It's just that's the type of guest you kind of need. You gotta I feel like it's good for us to switch up the flow like that.
And I remember having that conversation with Mike before I was brought on the team. Was like, the problem with having the same artists from the same neighborhoods is that you're gonna run into the same story. And it's not to say that we don't want to hear that story or that story is not worth being told. But now if we're competing with resumes that all look the same, and we're looking for a standout. and we have to remember we're a platform who this costs money to run.
Right.
So it's not when you really think about it, we almost lose up until this point. We always lose money interviewing artists than we get money from an artist.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we're not making a bunch of money off the views. We're not making a bunch of money off the spins. So we're doing this off the fact that we love it, but we also have to keep the business aspect of it running, and that's what we want people to understand. When we want to interview a lot of people, we want to interview.
I'm already gonna tell y'all the people I want to interview next year.
But sometimes we have to make sure we're diversifying our guests so we can also diversify our viewers.
Exactly. We can't put all of our eggs in just one basket. You know what I mean? But I agree with you, man. I agree with you. And trust me, we all love the creative. We love it. We love it.
Like I said, I'm happy to be tapped into it.
Yeah,
I'm blessed to be
I
tapped
fucking
into
love
it.
it.
Know who we know.
Exactly. I felt like, goddamn, some of these people. I mean, I think everybody that we have interviewed has inspired me in some way.
Right, and even the people we haven't that I've seen just maybe they've been on C-Dub or another platform like that. I'm just like, damn, they from Boston too. That's like, damn, that's fucking lit that they from Boston too. Because that's what it is with the local scene. It's just the fact that they're from that same city as you. It's good to support your city like that. It really is. And I forget which one you said it, but talking about the boom of podcasts, I was looking at a stat. The podcast industry shot up from 600,000 to 1.4 million during the pandemic alone, and that's people creating podcasts, putting them on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher, and that kind of got me thinking. It's like, okay, but how many podcasts really like those are the same? Maybe there's a lot of them are sports, and that's why when I went to school for sports, podcasts and shit, it's like when I started my own show, there was 3 other sports shows on that same station, and they're talking about all the same shit I'm talking about. So it's like, and I really wasn't in that creative position to DM people and be like, come on the show, this, that, and the other thing. I knew a few people who were making music, but it wasn't enough to sustain it.
Sustain it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So talking about the boom of podcasting, what do you think was the thing that kind of wanted and motivated you to get into podcasting?
Well, my major. Firstly, because it was communication, so I kind of had to do something. You felt
indebted. You had to do this.
Yeah, it's like I got my degree and shit. I sat through all that shit. I ain't going to switch it up now. It's like, because communication, what they taught us at LaSalle, shout out LaSalle, I miss y'all. It was like...
You fucking liar.
Nah,
go get a master's then.
Not from there. We gonna go to D1 school for that. We gonna go to the D1 school for that. But yeah, it's like what they taught us basically was the TV aspect of it and the radio aspect of it, and that shit just seemed boring to me. It just seemed, I'd say it's dead, because it's like, hey, when's the last time I listened to a radio show like that, or even the radio? Because 99% of the time I'm listening to Apple Music, and B, I ain't watching the news either. I ain't watching the Sports Center no more. Honestly, they have it on at the gym. That's the only time I have it on. and it's other 5 stations. The gym's crazy like that, because they got Fox News and CNN on at the same time on 2 different things, and it's shit.
But you're not wrong on that, because it's not those used to only be the outlets you can get your voice heard on.
Right.
But now, if you have a voice, you can get heard on your phone.
Yeah, but we need more spaces like Staples and shit. You just need more places for those voices to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Because with sports, being a sports analyst, it's weird because these networks, they want the dudes who are retired and shit. You know what I mean? They want the dudes who play the game.
You're talking about the big, okay.
Yeah, the next CBS analyzer ain't gonna be some coming up kid. It's probably gonna be Eli or Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit.
Which makes fans just want to tune in.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't hate him for doing that. Tony Romo ended up going in the booth and he become one of the sport's best analyzers and analysts, commentators and shit like that.
Shout out Kendrick Perkins. He's doing his thing too.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. But
KP.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, but people clown him on that because he average 5 points a game and he analyzes LeBron shit like that. That's what I'm saying. He got paid to do it.
Yo, but I'll tell you what, to comment on that.
Yeah.
I was watching maybe a couple years ago, the White Mamba. What's his name? Scalabrini. Yo, Scalabrini had a series where it was Beat Scal in Boston, right?
Yeah.
And he would call all D1 players to play him one-on-one. And he will destroy everybody.
Yeah.
And he would always tell people, this is how you know, like, the gap between an NBA player and an average or, like, a even above average player is.
Yeah.
He said, I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scalabrini.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, that's why when I hear people talking
He
shit
kind of
about
look
KP,
like Scalabrini. You look a little bit like Scalabrini. Scalabrini ain't ugly.
I get Mac Miller a lot.
You get Mac Miller?
Like a
Rest in
lot.
peace.
Rest in peace. That's what I'm saying. But
damn, it's the beard.
I got that in school a lot, and I got
Lucky
that.
Charms
I
looking
got
ass.
a British girl was like, "Has anyone ever told you look like Mac Miller?" I was like, "Thank you."
Cup of tea.
And she was like, "It's a compliment, right?" I'm like, "Oh, absolutely, it's a compliment."
Absolutely. He's
Handsome
dead. He's a
motherfucker.
crackhead. He's dead. Fucking
That's funny.
bitch. Tell me I'm handsome. Don't tell me I look like somebody.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, Mac's my guy, dog.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
fuck with
Mac.
Mac.
R.I.P. the legend.
I was
bro.
just playing this tiny desk with my girl
Yo, that was
the other day.
legendary.
I used to play it outside and smoke in the winter, bro. Like, Mac is that guy, man.
Yeah. That song's mad depressing though. 2009.
I love the person.
His like more recent shit is depressing. Obviously, you talk about death and died and shit like that. But I don't know why that song. It's like, damn, I really ain't. Like saying it ain't 2009 no more. Like, damn, I really ain't playing fucking 2K10,
I love Happy
MW2
Mac
anymore.
Miller, man. I love Happy Mac Miller.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
What about
damn,
you?
we got
Hey,
we got depressed in this bitch a little bit.
That's why I had to sip my coffee and shit.
What was the question?
What got you into wanting to, add
this.
to podcasting?
Well, I had my old podcast that I'm
Fresh
Talk
off
about
the
that.
stage, just plug
Fresh Off
that.
the Stage podcast. I'm gonna bring that back eventually. But so I did comedy and I wanted to be able to do comedy recorded whenever I wanted. So a podcast was like the one where I'm like, you know what? Let me get my opinions heard because my opinions are funny. I have a strong opinion. I want to talk. I want to have arguments.
Right.
I want to have guests on. I want to treat people how we treat people now. Like people don't understand. Before you come on, this, on here as a guest, we ask you, is there anything we could bring you? Food, drinks, liquor. Whatever.
That's the least amount of what people should be doing for their guests. I feel
But
like.
you don't understand that we set the standard that not that many people are doing. Shout out to Mike, and a lot of people don't know this. Mike is the brainstorm for that. He's the one that, and it's such a simple thought of, yo, make them feel like home when they come here. I don't give a fuck what it takes. If you got to bring their grandma and sit them down in the corner, so that the dude has a good time here, bring his grandmother
That's what
here.
I'm saying. Your
'Cause
grandma's
Mike-
cookies on too.
Exactly.
Get a
but
plate
but
right
Mike
there.
is on because then that makes you feel at ease. Now, is that gonna cause us problems sometimes? Maybe. I don't fucking know. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, good.
And
Staples
but,
down backs.
We clean.
but
We ain't
if
dirty
it's-
in this
if-
place.
If,
We clean.
if we get 100 guests and they all have a good time and one person bitches and one person doesn't have a good time, it's all worth it. But yeah, I forgot the question because
Nah, you good. What got you
basically
into?
answered it.
Oh yeah. So I did my own shit for a while, and I just this and how I got to this podcast and how I know I want to do this one. It's like
That was a dope story.
like Mike. People don't understand. Me and Mike were talking for months. Months just of random ass talking, motivational shit,
Crazy, bro.
idea shit.
Yep.
Just talking, and short story long story short, motherfucker, I got a phone call, and I knew I wanted to do it because I felt like the dynamic of having 3 people, and how far you guys are going. But I'm like, I could add to that ship, and they could add to my ship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, for me, it was like, I bet, you know what, these dudes are doing great shit. I believe in the work, and I see the vision. And Mike has a vision, and I feel like a lot of people who don't watch us frequently or don't know Mike personally, people gotta understand Mike, even though all 3 of us make decisions and all 3 of us do the same shit, Mike a lot of time has a forward thinking mind. We're thinking about this week, next week, whatever. Mike is 4 or 5 years ahead of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mike's like, yeah, but I think YouTube gonna go down and Tuba is coming up. You know what I mean? Like, well, there's a small company in India
There's
coming up,
predictions. It's like
and they got the
that third eye.
HPPP dash, and they gonna come off some flash. But that has allowed us to continue to grow. And people once again, people don't know this about P would do a lot of he'll work with the marketing team, and because of that, our growth is steady.
100%.
Our growth might not be fucking crazy. We don't have a video that went crazy pop yet, but our growth on the daily.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what-
Where it's like, you wait another year, it's like, man, at those percentages, we're gonna pop no matter what happens.
Right. And that's, I'm glad you said that, because honestly, it just, like you said, the growth's been steady. So the rest, that's what the shit matters to me, is that we still doing it. Yeah, you listen to this, a week before. We did take a week off, but like we was going, we was fixing some shit up. That's it. But like you said, it's like no one can really take away our steady growth like that. Because when we first started, I'm like, all right, what does a common podcast look like? Like, what's the analytics for like the average? I said a lot of dudes say most new ones don't make it past episode 20 or 25. Well, we already beat that. We smashed that. The following rate isn't what it is. We already surpassed that. So it's good to see that, the work is working, and that your work's really that the work that you put in, is worth it. Because a lot of my life, I ain't have no brand before. I ain't have like an identity. And I think it's cool because now this keeps me in line.
It was just a Tinder god.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, bro.
You called him a Tinder guy.
Yeah.
Done.
Bro, multiple day naps. Shit. But yeah, it's like this just helps me be a better person, because it's like when people see me, they say that. And I can't have them seeing a bad image of me, because then that means there's a bad image to say that. You know what I'm saying? And it's good because I was wilding out a little bit. I used to get a lot of internet fights. You know what I'm
What
saying?
the fuck is this nigga talking about? Why was you wilding out, Pete? Why?
Because I don't know.
He said, 'cause
I
I
was
was
in
really wilding
college. I was in college. I got no parents. No one telling me what the fuck to do. I was flipping everything. I was selling shit. I was just kidding, but yeah.
He's
I was
stupid.
kidding.
He's
Yeah.
stupid.
But yeah, bro, it's good to see
was going
help.
crazy.
It helped me mature.
How
I should
about you,
say.
Mike? How about you?
What got me into?
Yeah, I mean, I know for the most part, but
Honestly,
for those listening.
for the listeners, man, what got me into podcasting was, so before Say That was even an idea, I wanted to do something. I didn't know if it was gonna be like a podcast, but I guess I was gonna record myself talking. So I guess in some way it was a podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I kind of wanted to just inspire people, motivate people. I felt like I had some. We've all had some. Our listeners, future listeners, we've all gone through like rough patches, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like if I had that extra push in some of those situations, it would have made the situation easier for me
Right.
then, right? But then I realized people don't want to be fucking inspired. People want to be entertained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I can bring a cool dude, a cool artist, a cool entrepreneur, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And have him tell his story, and with his story inspire somebody else, then I guess I'm filling that void
Right.
of me wanting to inspire somebody. You know what I mean? So that's
No,
kind of
that's
what like
fact.
got me into it.
That's facts. That's facts. And I gotta ask this too. Who's the one? Like, I know we interviewed many people for
Oh,
many
man.
episodes. You had to just pick one of them that really stuck out to you. Who would you pick?
Damn.
And this is no disrespect to anybody. This is just,
Alex might
what
have
stuck up with us.
on some Libra shit. Alex might have I think the same issues as me. I'm all like, damn, I kind of took a lot from like, or
Yeah.
mad little different pieces from everybody. That's tough. No shade to nobody, obviously.
Yeah, no,
as
absolutely.
I said, I prefaced it with I learned a lot and was inspired by everybody that we've had on the show. But I don't want to take a low-hanging fruit either. But Jeff, bro.
Pena?
Yeah. Not because of the monetary things, but
Right.
because it's just his background, his culture, his family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
In many ways, I can see a lot of similarities. You know what I mean? So him, definitely learned like consistency from that dude. Hard work, not giving up.
100%.
Another dude, I would say Bugsy. Shout out
South
Bugsy.
End legend.
Bugsy was a great interview. I enjoyed
Great.
it.
I
interview.
really loved Bugsy. We gotta have him on again, but
Because we ain't like, we've had vets in hip hop, but that's like a real vet. But that's a true veteran of hip hop.
yeah, the thing I like that inspired me about Bugsy, so knowing him, for a big portion of my life, a lot of people that are in his position, like that been rapping for so long, if they don't have what they perceive or like social media makes you perceive that success is, they wouldn't have been doing it for as long. You know what I mean? And Bugsy, he does it. He puts out so much music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Has never stopped. So consistency is another big thing for him, and just like that belief in yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yo, so what about you guys? Who? If you guys had to pick, I picked two, so I'm not gonna tell you guys to just pick one.
There's definitely a few that come out my mind. The Carlita interview.
Right.
Yo, shout out Carlita,
Shout out
bro.
Carlita.
That's
Thank
one
you
we
for
don't talk
coming.
about enough. I feel
And
like.
and that's one that I feel like we should call her, because with the mayor, where you know how the
It's a new mayor race.
yeah, there's gonna be a new race. There's gonna be a new mayor coming up, and I feel like that's a perfect time to call her up. Even if we don't have her in the building, call her up and just have her to the phone and just kind of have a quick
Something
conversation
like that,
about that, because I feel like that would also allow us to branch out to more guests with the headline and maybe the hashtags or something. Get into that political zone.
Yeah.
Let's note that one.
And she's a
down.
very bright person, bro.
Oh, awesome. Carlita, understand. That's my dog. Forever. I got mad love for Carlita. Zay.
That was unbelievable.
Hey,
So, like,
that's
Hey, get that Zay merch.
I'm looking at those.
okay. He's right. Yeah, that's on the.
Shout out to the Zay merch.
Hey.
And I'm a fan. Like,
Same.
I was telling him every time we talk, I'm a fan. And like, so like the three that come to my mind is that one, and like the Connor one. Cause
I was gonna say
Yo,
Connor.
Connor's special,
I was
bro.
exactly gonna say
I was
Connor, too.
interacting with Connor before on Instagram, and I was a fan. I was trying to see if I could help with whatever he was doing in his moments, and even still, we still feel like that when we're like with any of our guests. We're working with them because we enjoy what they're doing and actually support them.
Exactly.
So we tell everybody who comes on the show, let us know when you have something. Now, let the podcast know, because that way the podcast can also spread it.
Right.
Doesn't mean we're gonna spread it on our own personal pages. That you can't ever ask for on the
You gonna spread that
business
shit like
page.
COVID.
On the business, exactly, on the business page. Yeah, like we want everybody. We're trying to network with everybody. We're trying to show love.
Yeah. I gotta say Noble, obviously, just because of all the
Let's
stories.
Let's sell shit.
Let's sell shit. That which was so weird because when I was talking to him, I'm like, yo, you go to LaSalle? Like just off like I just caught the vibe.
That was a very dope moment.
Yeah.
Bro.
And just him telling the stories of the Boston creatives, Lino, Stiz, Replay, all that. Drew White, aka Drew Barr, if that's how you know him. That was I think that was a cool interview.
That was a fire one. That one was like an hour and a half.
Yeah, because just like talking about bodega and shit like that, all that like hidden cool.
Shout out my dog.
Shit. That's what I'm saying.
The cool thing about that interview is you can see his passion.
Right.
You can feel his passion, how he kept, his consistency, his grind, how he just was working. He didn't have no real goal like when he started. His goal was to work.
Yeah.
And look what it got him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I gotta say ZITO, only because ZITO, I've known ZITO like for my whole fucking life. And that was kind of like literally like when we first started the podcast, I'm like, I wanted him in for episode 1. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, he didn't have, shit going on for him. He was like, give me a couple months. And he did. He's doing his thing. But, yeah, it's just like that was cool because, again, that's like how you and Nick are almost. Like, I've known that kid for a long, long time. So it's just cool because that was kind of the goal anyways, was to give, these people we know who will never probably get a platform, give them that platform. Make a platform, give them that, get them on YouTube, get them on Apple, Spotify, make sure that story is told. And I feel like that's what the message, I get from people who have given me feedback on the show is, you guys are really for the guest. Like, it's a conversation. Yes, what do you do? How do you do it? But it's also about, how did you get to that point? Mm-hmm. What were the sacrifices you made or the trials and tribulation that if you want to tell them, you absolutely can, because we never force anything out of anybody, that how that got to that point. And I think, yeah, like you said, that's always been the goal, is just like
you said
that.
Sacrifice. What you think was the biggest sacrifice you had to do for you to get to this point?
To get to say that, fucking just...
Or I guess during say that.
During say that, just
get off Tinder.
Not even like no joke, just that. Just stop being a lazy piece of shit. Because 2020, bro, like my mom's place was closed. I graduated. They kicked us out of college since they told us go home. We'll get your diploma in the mail and shit like that.
That shit's crazy, right?
Yeah, bro. Shout out to my mom though. She did throw me, a graduation party, but like I would have liked to receive that, and it caught us during senior week too. Senior week, it was a big thing because the whole class goes to Mohegan Sun. You know what I'm saying? Get litty. We have a boat cruise and shit like that, and we didn't get to do that, so
That's
it just
fire.
kind of sucks. Yeah, I think basically you just stop being like a lazy piece of shit, like like the YouTube shit. Like, bro, I'm a big
That shit is so raw.
content guy.
I
Like,
love
you know what
that.
I'm saying?
I'm with you.
I'm a big content guy, so I like watching shit. I like observing shit. But sometimes I be, that zombie mode where you're like, or you're looking at the TV, like you're looking at the TV. It's 8 o'clock. All of a sudden you look up, it's 11:30. It's just like whether it's uploading the videos, getting in the cribs, making the posts. It's just like it's cool to own a brand. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's cool to have your name attached to a brand because I've been that way my whole life. Like, I was never like in a brand or something like that. I never like had those ideas like that. I think I like to say my realm of creativity has expanded doing this. But yeah, I probably think just stop being lazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's fair.
And
That's a big one.
like, I'm still, whether even it's this or even like the gym, you know what I'm saying? Just get active, take care of yourself. I think 2020, like I said, because 2020 was the awakening for like a lot of people. And I feel like I was the same way because, coming off being that college kid where, you think you untouchable, you living in your dorm room with your friends, you just chilling, hanging out, smoking fucking joints all day, drinking whatever the fuck. It's like, I can't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of made me start realizing that, let's start eating healthy. Let's start going to the gym. It may seem cliche, but I feel like that's one thing that I gotta give myself.
Shout out to the pod making you all eat healthy and shit.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's an image thing. I gotta have people to see the good image.
Nah, but that's a fact, and that's true. It's like the more you're gonna be in the public eye on camera, and some people don't understand this neither. It's easier when you're better looking, and it's just how it's
you're
fucked
right.
up, but it's how the world works.
You're right,
and you don't have to be good looking for everybody.
Yeah.
You just have to be good looking to a lot of people, and the whole point of it is.
He said not to everybody, but to a lot
but to at least a good amount of people.
That's a fact.
Because you ain't everyone's type.
Because you're not gonna be
Thank you.
everybody's type, and are you talented enough to be ugly? And still people buy your stuff. And people still come out to see you. There are some people in this world that are ugly enough to be talented and, be talented and famous for it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's true.
You ain't lying, though.
Yeah.
He's right. It's funny because he's right.
And like, of course I joke and things like that, but it's like, if you're not well groomed, if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't look like you're getting any sleep, if you look crazy, you're also going to attract that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like it. Don't like dirty people. Some people do though. Like a lot of times you're not gonna catch me looking super dirty,
Yeah.
And that, like you're saying, it adds to your image because we have an image to upkeep.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people want to run a show and run things. It's like they always tell you dress for the job that you want.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean suit and tie. It means if you were the boss of this brand, how would you dress so that people identify you with that?
Right.
How would you dress for you? How do you want to be seen?
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to be treated? So when you go to certain places, you wear certain things because okay, if I dress like a street dude, if I dress crazy, if I dress with jeans, I'm going to be treated differently at this 5-star restaurant than if I come with a suit.
Yeah.
Right.
If I come with a suit, I'm going to demand respect when I get there.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
sir.
it's like, it doesn't mean you have to wear the suit. It doesn't mean that.
It's just to show you like the power of perspective and
Right.
You know what I mean? But what do you think was the biggest sacrifice for you with
When coming here?
Yeah.
And sacrifice doesn't have to be bad, but I think it made me reel in some of the things I was doing and things I was saying and how far my head was going. Because
That's what I always loved about you though. I'm gonna be real with you. I think that's a big strength that you have.
And so it's good. It's good to have this imagination that's gonna go far and beyond a lot of people. But what ends up happening is you might say some wild shit over here. Or you might do, like, I go back, if you go look at my Fresh Off the Stage podcast, bro, and you look at the the few, I think it's like 3 episodes.
Yo,
and you go look at it. I am really saying some wild things that you.
But it makes sense though.
They make sense. They're funny. They're silly. But I'm also saying really, really wild shit. And I feel like on the podcast where I'm not gonna say all those wild things because it's not only my reputation, it's everybody's reputation on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So I reel it in. But because because everybody gives me free will and I can say it and do whatever. Nobody holds me back. But me mentally, I go, I don't want the guests to get uncomfortable. I don't want the show to have too much of a thum. I'm not trying to steal the spotlight. So this allows me to flex my comedy muscle on one thing. So that was a sacrifice, was my just not going as far as I'm used to, which isn't a bad thing. It's a sacrifice of how I used to do comedy.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, bro.
That's a good explanation.
But fresh off the stage podcast, I remember there was this one. I can't remember which episode it was, but you was talking about like the relationship structures and how like and like
I said wild stuff on that show.
Yo, it's crazy. I'm not. You go
watch it.
You go watch it.
No,
we plugged it enough.
But
You gotta
you're
go
right
watch.
though. Like just the things I was saying would make sense, but then
it
there
made
would be.
sense.
And I'm gonna bring it back when the time is right, and probably really, really soon, probably in the next like 3 months, I'll probably bring it back, because then I feel like even being here, sacrificing that, I get to go back and unleash it, and it's still
Exactly.
and now it's still more
You've
structured.
been holding this for so
Yeah,
long.
you know what I mean? I've been holding back opinions and thoughts and shit. But it's like, now I can say it and it's just at no one's consequence, though.
Yeah,
You feel me?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I could say some wild shit and they're like, well, if Alex is saying that wild stuff and Mike and Peter next to him, they agree with him. And it's not true. It's not true. But people's head will go there. And
Oh, of course.
and then
Especially
go,
in today's day and age.
And they go, well, if they support that, I don't want to support them. I don't care. And I wouldn't do that to the podcast.
That shit's annoying to me.
But Mike,
How about you, Mike?
what about you, Mike?
Yo, believe it or not, I think the biggest sacrifice for me is that I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert.
And that,
but
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I'm an introvert, but I have a very big personality, if that makes any
no,
sense.
that 100% does.
Like, the way I talk to people, the way people would think I'm probably, like, an extrovert as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, the most extroverted dude they know. But what they don't know is, like, privately, I'm an
I'll
introvert.
be in the house.
I'm an introvert. I'm being inside my head a lot. You know what I mean?
No,
so
100%.
I think the biggest sacrifice to me was getting on here and talking, and 99.9% of the time know who I'm talking to in the room, but don't know anybody who I'm talking to outside of the room.
Right.
That was the biggest sacrifice for me, I think.
Yeah,
But you know, it's just repetition, bro. I got a little bit more comfortable with it.
Like we're big on, talking about reps in the gym, metaphorically, shit like that,
We need to
But
get in
yeah.
that shit physically, no bullshit.
Hey, that's what I tell you, bro.
Physical. Yo, let's wrap it up.
Wanna
Because
work out
my
for me?
car,
Yeah.
my car waiting.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask y'all some round table questions real quick though, and I'm gonna start off with this. What's the one thing that people find weird that you don't? Why y'all think? I'm gonna say it though. Going places by yourself, like restaurants, movies. Movies, I'll say no, because movies by yourself, I feel like universally is not a bad thing at all. You just want to see the fucking movie.
it's
Whether
not a
it
bad
doesn't
thing.
matter if you sit at home watching or you go in there, you just want to see the
just wanna
fucking
see
movie.
it, yeah.
Like, but eating at a restaurant, I think. If it ain't like
that
table
that we
service,
don't think is weird that people think is weird.
yeah,
I'm trying to
because I
think of a
said
good
eating at a
question.
restaurant because I seen this thing like this Japanese TikTok thing that was like things in Japan that aren't weird in America or are weird that may seem weird in America. And one of them was eating at a restaurant by itself. But I'm like, I'd do that now. Like
I
that
feel
ain't
like
weird to me.
I eat at a lot of restaurants by myself.
Yeah,
Gang shit.
you know
Like,
what I'm saying?
because if I'm high somewhere and I'm just walking, I just eat at it. I
That's
just
what I'm
stop by
saying,
and
bro.
just say,
I love
I'll be
taking
mad
a
New
walk,
York.
rolling joint.
I'll be mad New York style. I'll be walking around Washington Street eating a slice.
yeah.
I can't eat while I walk. I learned.
I know this
can't.
when I went to New York with y'all. I'm all like, yo, let's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We was in that Habibi line for fucking an hour, bro. I'm hungry. He's like, nah, bro, let's go back fucking 20 blocks to the hotel.
Yeah, no, I'm like, nah.
I'm like, bro, I'm trying to grill.
Like, yo,
dog.
bro, but it's right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I
I'm
can't.
like, yo, y'all do y'all.
Yeah, I can't.
Some people think it's weird to put barbecue sauce on anything. I put barbecue sauce on everything. Mac and cheese, chicken.
Nah, I see mac. That's a
everything.
big
Like,
thing
that's
with mac
like
and cheese.
A lot of people, some people think it's weird.
Shit. Something weird.
Yeah, something strange or Jerusalem.
God damn. I think that I don't even know, bro. You know how like you it's
Yeah.
hard for you to think of something that
Off the top like that, right?
no, not even off the top. That's weird. I just feel like I'm so open minded nowadays that I don't even know
Yeah.
what the fuck.
Yeah,
What other
true.
people would consider weird.
Yeah, it's true.
But you know what? I guess this, man. I like my my meats well done. A lot of people like the medium rare and shit, and they find
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah,
find
yeah,
well
yeah,
done.
yeah, that's true.
I guess that's a low
because it's too
hanging
chewy
fruit,
or
but,
something like that. Yeah.
But nah, man,
I have
need
it
that.
well. I have it well and medium well. But I feel people do be talking shit about well. I'm like,
Well done.
if you get it done at a good restaurant, a well done is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people, like for example, in the culinary like industry, they're like,
Fuck
oh,
them.
fuck them niggas,
Fuck
too.
'em, call it.
But,
Make my food, bitch.
They be like, yo, you taking away the juices, the da-da-da-da. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro.
They analyzing
If
it
I
like
want
it's like
some
LeBron
juice, I'll
or
order
something.
some
like
juice.
that. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
This piece of
Like it's
steak, this
stupid.
piece of steak is not an
A juice.
orange.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Like, I ain't gonna have steak juice.
What you got for me, Pete?
What's the worst smelling place you've ever been to?
The Silver Line.
It's a silver line.
Hey, he ain't wrong, bro.
It's Chinatown Station.
The New York subway, so I
Now,
guess I'll say that.
I've smelled some girls' feet that's been. Like this bitch took her shoes off and I was like, yo, on
this
dead
house just
dogs. I was like, yo, on dead dogs, get out. Get
I
out
put
my
that shit
house.
on dead dogs.
Nah, no
Shout out
funny.
Bori Rock.
No funny. It was feet, bro. I was like, those were the worst feet, and I've been in the country for years, and those were the worst feet I ever smelled. Those were like
And coming from a
over
shorty too.
time. Yeah, bro, it was like over time working on her feet, then just take her shoes off in a public place. Oh my. Yeah.
You ever got into somebody's car that was like, yo, I'll give you a ride, and then you get in and you're like,
Yeah, low key. Yeah, that's a big thing. Some people's cars and shit like that. Yeah. What did I say? The New York subway? Yeah, definitely 100% the New York subway. But I ride
New
it.
York is a dirty
That's just
place.
It's, New
grimy.
York is a dirty place, but I'm,
It's a dirty
you know.
place.
down
And the
and
other thing I
dirty.
don't get too is people just finding out about Mass Ave. Like I know social media opens up a lot of eyes, but I feel like when it comes
I'm
to
like, man,
Boston,
I've always been that bad.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, what is this shit? You know, bad it's America, blah blah. I'm like, bro, Mass Ave been that way
You know,
for forever.
I'll tell you what. Growing up in that very, very close to that community, I used to work at that McDonald's for 4 years while I was in high school.
Damn, I'm sorry,
So,
bro.
It's all good. So from 2008 to 2012, I worked at that McDonald's. I'll tell you what. The biggest difference now, and the reason why people are noticing it, is because the homeless people are actually having construction and building their tents.
Right.
They settled
Exactly.
in. You know what I mean? They're colonists now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know what I mean?
Whites
the big-
don't like that.
Exactly. That's the biggest difference. But before, they were just
Nothing.
roaming
That's
around.
what I'm saying, bro. They was.
It was legit The Walking Dead.
I remember the
They
first
finally got
time.
enough cardboard for the crib, and now they're mad.
My friends
Now
from
people are mad.
yeah, my friends from the South Shore were like, they never seen it before and they want to see it. Like, yo, can we drive by them?
Why
Like,
the fuck they want to see that?
hey,
shit?
because I'm friends with some sick people. I'm a little sick kid too, like that. But I you know, it's whatever. I told them, yeah, go this way, bro. As soon as we turn the corner, first thing we see is a dude do this to another dude,
Nah, you see, I don't play with that.
and I'm just like,
showing
yeah.
them his microchip.
Yeah,
Nah,
I'm
just
like,
playing.
yeah, bro, that's Mass Ave. Yeah, they about to get vaccines. You know what I'm saying? They about to get the Mass Ave vaccine over there.
Facts. The big booster.
The big boost.
That's
Hey, that's some big boost.
That's some grease. That's
But-
what I call it.
Nah, yeah,
That's that grease.
You know what? But I feel you, man. For a long time, it's like, and I can't be mad that the attention's only getting there now, because you should be happy that the attention's getting there at all.
All right.
But it's that whole thing of like, yeah, bro, there's been crackheads
Don't be
there
surprised,
for a
yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing is, I feel like the biggest difference is now, like, they're no longer just congested to the BMC
Right.
methadone mile area.
Yeah.
I live in a bordering neighborhood in the South End, and the South End has a lot of like side streets that are like non-residential, that are still industrial, that are close to like 93, for those that know. And all those streets that are not residential, forget about it. After a certain time,
You can't go out there.
yeah.
Nah.
Not,
Yeah,
not even
bro.
because it's dangerous, because what the hell is a crackhead gonna do? Well, you never know.
Oh, yeah, you never know.
It
You
is
never,
giant crackheads.
you never know, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's just like,
Yeah, you ain't want to deal with those people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
not only that, it's just like,
Like, my
I got
mom-
no business going over there.
Right,
You know, that's
exactly.
the way I see it.
yeah, my mom got 2 push carts right by the public bathrooms of Faneuil Hall, and I found a needle. Like, I found a needle outside a car one time, and I was telling security, I'm like,
Was it Moderna, Pfizer? No.
Hey, it was that
Crickety crack.
HRE, yeah, I was gonna say the
Grease.
scratchy stuff. But yeah, and I'm like, and I see them
He
going
said the
up and
scratchety
down,
stuff.
and I've seen so many overdoses in that bathroom. Honestly, it's kind of crazy
sad.
over the years. It is
That's
sad.
sad.
It's like, but so it's like that's why I said like over the last year, I've kind of seen obviously the rise of like TikTok, for example, and people and it growing in Boston, and all it is just people taking pics from like where we were downtown. They stop at Newberry Street, and then that's it. They stop at Newberry and Kenmore. And they don't go. That's Boston to TikTok.
You know
is
what?
that like cutoff point?
To close it off before the shout out segment, what's your guys' sentiment on the whole homelessness in Boston?
I think clean it up. Get them help. Basically, to me, I ain't
Get everybody help.
Yeah, because you just get everybody as much help as possible. Because if you don't stop the problem, it's gonna grow even to a worse thing. Because let me tell you something. They building all around the seaport. They building all these new apartments. They still ain't filled yet. That shit gets left filled, or then prices go up, and you all of a sudden think of that market that can't afford it can't. That's going to turn into housing for some of them if these some of these people.
So. I don't think so. I just feel like not the seaport.
Well, maybe not the seaport,
kick 'em
but
to
just
Brockton
where
or
like
some shit like
that's
that.
what I'm saying. Like out there, but like, cause I be in the seaport and like the shit's like half filled, and they still building the shit. Like it's not like full. There's still like empty, like big ass buildings and shit like that.
It's tough, man. Drug addiction is tough.
It's tough.
Homelessness is tough. Yeah, I don't think there's a.
I think there needs to be more programs.
I don't think there's a correct answer for any of this. I really believe that if shit was ideal, we would have the money to house them and have them somewhere. And if you want to die a drug abuser, you should be able to die a drug abuser. And if you want to get help, there should be a place where you could go in and get help. And if you want to get your life back on track, people, the state and the government should see that it benefits the state and the government. Because once they're off the streets and once they're doing better, it's just a long process.
It's a very long process.
But you should be invested in your citizens.
Yeah.
And you should be invested in their betterment, because the better that they do, the more money they bring in, the better it is for the city.
Right. I just think that the big thing is it's hard to pinpoint what there's not one solution to the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I think that we're trying to get at. But I think the biggest problem, and I'm not trying to headline or anything, but I think the biggest problem is that addiction is not a crime.
Right.
Addiction is not a crime, bro. It's a condition.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot what country it is. I think it's Portugal or something. They decriminalized every...
They did in Oregon. They did with the drugs. They decriminalized all that shit.
But it specifically, I think it's somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
They decriminalized all drugs. You want to go get some meth? Go get some meth. You want to go get some heroin? Go get some heroin. Whatever the fuck it is that you do.
Yeah.
And when people have an addiction problem, instead of being like, yo, lock this dude up, make him go through those withdrawals in that cold room, feed him shit, and then he's gonna come back out and do the same shit. Instead of doing that, they try to help him, and the use has gone dramatically down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I
So-
feel like if it's illegal, people want to do it more. You know what I'm saying? Low key, because they feel like breaking the rules and shit like that. And the
Humans want what they can't have.
That's what I'm
bro.
saying. That's exactly what I'm getting at. They want what they can't have.
Yeah, and I feel you. It's tough. Plus, when you make it accessible to people and you inform them and you allow them to make their own decision as a grown man and as a grown woman, you'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, let's get out of here with gratitude. So who we shouting out this week, Alex? I usually got the best shout out, so you gotta go first.
Nah. Everybody shout out to Awesome, man. First of all, shout out to the team, man. Thank y'all for coming, putting this together. We work hard. Shout out to me, because I work hard.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to me, because I love myself. I take care of my family. I do it the best for myself. I don't try to be nobody. I don't try to be nobody's way.
Hey,
Shout out to my nieces. I love you guys. Shout out to my nephews. I love
making
you
us
guys.
YouTube famous.
Make us famous, baby. Yeah, but that's about it, man. Thank you for God, man. God, put it up there. Hit us, Mike.
Amen.
Big facts. Yo, first and foremost, I want to shout out Pete. For real, bro, it's crazy how one conversation walking around Beacon Hill with some, substances in the air created something amazing.
Aromas. I love my aromas.
It's been definitely a great learning experience, man. And shout out Alex, bro. A lot of people don't know this about Alex, but not to put his personal life out there, but my man juggles like the best circus act you've ever seen.
Yeah?
My
no
man,
shit, bro.
Seriously, my man had a kid, still has a kid. Our first Say That baby, beautiful baby Alex. You know, has a family to take care of, full-time job, and all the other endeavors he does. So,
Right.
For real, you both motivate me. So shout out to both of y'all and family, and lastly, God, like always.
Absolutely.
Amen.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I gotta really give a shout out to both y'all. You know, I came in and I'm like, shit. You know, I wasn't really a big like meeting new people guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was really like, I'm not scared. I'm not like, I ain't really willing to take chances like that. But I'm glad y'all took a chance on me. I'm glad that we still doing this a year later, because like I said, a lot of these podcasts, they don't really stay consistent like us. And I'm really glad that, you know, you've opened my mind to the new creative scene of Boston. So I got to give a shout out to that. I got to give a shout out to every single guest we've had on so far. If I could name them all if I could speed name them all, I would. And I got to give a shout out to all the guests we will have on. You know what I'm saying? All the artists from freaking, you know, we want to interview Millie's because it's this, don't but P, Sean Wild, Oompa, I freaking, you know what I'm saying? Everybody. We just want to be tapped in, and even entrepreneurs or something, we will interview. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Say That family that has grown. And, man, shout out to being 1 year down.
Hey.
Yo, shout out to everybody that's following us. Shout out everybody that's doing something similar that we're doing.
Facts.
Shout out everybody working together.
Y'all got to follow us, though.
Exactly.
Follow us on the gram.
Where can they follow us?
Say _that
Say that.
pod on the gram.
You know that.
Say That podcast on YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It doesn't hurt. Give us a view a little bit.
Let's get it.
Let's get in, gentlemen. I'm Repeat.
Mike Sanchez.
It's your boy Remy in the building, man.
1 year down, so let's get it going. Don't say this.
Say that.
Peace. Bye.
Boom.